Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Carissa. Today we are going to be going over my February TBR. When I first started to film this TBR, it was huge and it was kind of really ambitious. So this time I kind of cut it down to 4 books, and then I'm currently in the middle of 3, I believe. Well, I'm in the middle of 4, and then I have 4 more that I would like to read this month, which I feel like would be a good number. 8 books in a month. We'll see. But we are going to start with the books I'm currently reading. Two of them are on my Kindle. I have a couple that I'm listening to via audiobook. The first book that I'm currently in the middle of is The Atlas 6. Sorry if there's a glare. But I am currently about 180 some odd pages into this book. I'm really liking it. I really couldn't tell you what it's about, even though I've been reading it. From where I am right now, it's about the Alexandrian society, and we've got to know all 6 characters, and how they're supposed to be the most intelligent ones. It's kind of interesting, to be honest. I've been listening to this on audiobook, so I feel like my brain has wandered a little bit, so I think I have to go back and reread a little bit of it. But it's really interesting. And then I don't know if you got, I really love, I don't know if you can see that, but I really love the illustrations or the pictures that they have in this book. They're really cool. So in between each section, they do have a picture, which I'm assuming they're the character or one of the characters. So I really like it. It's interesting. Right now it's sitting about a 3. I think I might read it physically. I think going forward, because I don't feel like I've at this point in time, I don't think I've absorbed as much as I would like out of this book. But yeah. That's definitely one of the books I'm reading at the moment. The second book that I'm in the middle of is called Switched by Sarah Reddy. I did get this book off of NetGalley, and it's giving me Freaky Friday vibes a little bit. But instead of the daughter and mom, this is I feel it's supposed to be trying to figure out how to explain this book. But I feel it's gonna be they're 2 co-workers, and they somehow something glitched with this book is about Serena and Henry. So they somehow switched at one night and then switched bodies, and then it's interesting. I really like it because I haven't watched Freaky Friday in a minute, but I've just gotten to the part where they switched bodies, and I'm trying to figure out what happened and how they get back to their own body, and it is insane. This is the second book that I've read by Sarah Daly, and I've really liked her writing. I think the first book I read by her was Ghosted, and I really like her her writing style. So anything else that she comes out with, I definitely will give it a try. She's definitely starting to I'm starting to warm up to her a little bit. She definitely might be an autobiographer for me, and the next, she might be. I don't know. I don't want to hold my breath, but I'm hoping. I have my fingers crossed. The third book? Yeah. The third book that I'm in the middle of is Girl Gone Mad. And this is supposed to be a mystery thriller, I think they have it. It's a thriller is what it's listed on the story graph. And it is intense. I'm really liking it. A character called Emily. She is a therapist, and when she was in high school, she was in popular within the popular girls, or the quick clique, and which they were called the Harpies. They were more of the popular girls, and I don't know if they killed somebody or what, but now jumping I think it was 15 years later, one of the girls that was in her friend group has died. She died. So now apparently the ghost of the girl, I'm pretty sure they had something to do with her death or something. She apparently is coming for revenge. I don't know if it's for those girls who did something to her or had a part in what happened with her. It's really interesting. It's warming up like really well. So I'm like really interested to see what's gonna happen next. I did get it on Kindle Unlimited, so I've been switching between the Kindle version and then the audiobook. And like I am really surprised. I wanna say I'm like 30% of the way through. So, and I started this book on Wednesday. I'm already like that far into it in a couple days. Granted, I did stay up way too late to read some of this book. And like I feel like it's just grabbed my attention very well. And I really appreciate it. And then the fourth book that I'm currently in the middle of is called Beartown. By Frederick Bachman. Is that how you pronounce his name? I'm sure. I'm not as far into this one as I am into the other ones. This book is in obviously like a small town called Beartown, which is like a huge hockey town from what I get the sense of it. And like I feel like it's following like multiple characters. So I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen. I think I'm about 50 pages in, but it has gotten really good reviews. So like the part I'm at right now is like just starting to get to know like the characters and like how they've come to like a lot of them grew up in Beartown, a lot of the parents. And then like are following their children, obviously. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Who knows? We'll see. But hopefully I'll finish that by the end of the month. So it's definitely on my radar. The next book that I have, I started last year and then I did it as like a soft DNF. There is a book club on Discord that is reading this book and they're currently on the second book. I might have to restart it, but I am reading, it's called The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. It's part of the Wheel of Time series and I am 200 pages. So I'm almost on chapter 13 and I don't remember, like I remember a little bit, but like not enough to like, I might try to watch like a video like explaining a couple things without giving any spoilers, but worst case scenario, I'll have to restart it. I mean, that's not necessarily the end of the world if I do, but like it's a epic fantasy and it's technically part of like, I think 14 books. I think there's like 14 or 15. So hopefully I can get that book read. We'll see how I feel after this book. My expectations are kind of low. I mean, I liked the first one. It didn't like blow my socks off or like knock my socks off. So the first book that I would like to get to this month, well, I want to finish this book. If this is the only book that I finish, I will be happy. But it is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I do have a read-along on the Storygraph, which I will link down below. I have wanted to get to this book for a while. I mean, it hasn't been out for too long. It's been out since 2022. So it's been out for a couple years. I've had my eye on this one and Yellowface. So I don't know if I'm going to read Yellowface this month or not either. All I know is Babel is like a dark academia, I think, because it's set in Oxford. Like the premise of it is like really intriguing. And there's also, I don't know if you guys can see that too. Like there's like a map. And then there's also at the very beginning of the book, but which I thought was interesting. It says it's a map of Babel. I have the physical book. I also have the audiobook, and I think I also have it on my Kindle. So there should be like no reason why I shouldn't get this book done. I've heard if you immersion read it, like you can get like the full like effect of this book, and apparently there's footnotes in here too. So I'm not like the biggest fan of footnotes, but I mean they're useful. But like I'm just not the biggest fan of them. The next book that I would like to get to in the month of February, of course, is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I read The Sorcerer's Stone in January, and like I usually do a reread of this series every year. Harry Potter needs no introduction. Like I feel like everybody knows what it's about. Like this is definitely like my favorite series. I want to say like of all time. Like it's definitely like the only series that I reread every year. Which I feel like it says something because it's just like, even though I know what's gonna happen, like it's just, I feel like I pick up like new information every time. Like it warms my heart a little bit. I'm excited to get to the second one. So, but anyways, And then the last book that I would like to get to in the month of February is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I read Ninth House in January. Well, I finished it in January. I don't remember if I started it in January or not, but I really want to wrap up this duology. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or if it's going to be like a series, but I definitely would like to know what happened. Going off like the ending of Ninth House, like I am intrigued. So like I'm surprised I haven't picked this up. I don't know. Like I'm interested. I mean it's not like super chunky. It's under 500 pages, which I have a feeling is doable in a month for me. I think I also have this on audiobook, and I think I also have it on my Kindle. So there literally should be no reason why I shouldn't have it done. We will see. But I know that's kind of like, I wouldn't say a super small TBR, but like I feel like I went through these like super fast. But I was gonna use my other video. The audio on it wasn't the greatest. The only thing is I was gonna participate in the Battle of the Girl Bands, which I think some of these books fall into. I think a majority of them fall into it actually. But my first TBR was pretty much like centered around it. But like there was a lot of books that were like super thick. And like it was unreasonable to get in like a month, but I will still have like all of the information and stuff down below if you guys would like to join it still. It did start yesterday and then it runs through the month of February, so you guys still have time to like pick a team and then to be able to participate it because you guys still have like the rest of the month. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.